Good morning, and welcome to Sunrise Coffee on Catboat Travels, number 2. This is the 19th of February, 2024, and this is the morning coffee. Sunrise coffee. So, here we have a simple little assembly, and it is out of that let's go around to the front. It's out of that we're going to cut the transom, or the back end of the catboat. I need to correct something I said yesterday. I said yesterday that it was 1915 that Fred Gull designed this boat and published her lines and building instructions in the Rudder Magazine. And it was actually 1911. I apologize for that. The boat was built at the direction of Thomas Fleming Day, who did a lot to democratize yachting. He ordered several boats built and designed for home construction for amateurs. This was a boat to be used as a day sailor. So it didn't have a cabin. It being a catboat, catboats are about half as wide as they are long, and they are shallow body. The wide, shallow body gives them power to carry a lot of sail. They don't row particularly well, which is a problem for our purposes, but they're catboats, and it's like sailing in your living room chair. A boat had been built. So when designers design these boats, they draw pictures and lines, they draft them, and then they take a measuring tool and they scale up the lines to full size. And they lay down those coordinates in a table called a table of offsets. And the builder then builds from those offsets. But first, he or she draws the plans to full size on those offsets to correct them. Let's say a pencil line is a 1/16 of an inch. Made larger, that measurement could be off as much as an inch or maybe even more. So you draw the lines large and correct them. A boat had already been built to these designs, and so they took the table of offsets and corrected them. Now, there is a table of offsets that appears in the 1911 text. There is a pattern for full-size patterns for molds and transom and other fittings, so that an amateur would not need to do what's called the laydown, or the lofting of drawing the plans to full size. We'll get into why this becomes important for me, but it becomes important for you because it eliminates one of the more technical and sometimes tedious aspects of small boat building. And so at 15 feet, 7 feet wide, this will fit into most people's garages. You can have an exquisite day sailor, a very, very modest cruiser, if you're going to use it like I am, and we'll see how that works out. It was not designed as a cruiser, so we're going to consider that part of it to be experimental. This is a boat you can build, and you don't need to have traditional skills. It was designed for lapstrake, or not lapstrake, it was designed for carvel planking, where you put the boards down side by side, and you have to take shapes off in order to fit them properly. And this is a skilled operation, and sometimes a bit tedious. But if we do a modern glue epoxy and strip build of this boat, it now puts it well within very good amateur construction practice. Oh, that sunrise coffee is hot and good. And so we can actually build a stronger hull, one that doesn't need to sit in the water and take up water to make itself watertight as a traditionally built boat does. And we can cover it with a fabric soaked in epoxy to give it a little more resilience and strength. And we're going to get into that later down the road in a book on boat strength by a man named David Gare, which is considered the authoritative text in modern boat building for hull strength. We're going to do a few things, but anyhow, I glued up those 3 planks, and the glue should be completed setting later this afternoon. And the next piece is to glue up a blank to cut the skeg, and then to measure and cut out the transom, or the back end of the boat. We'll do all of this and more coming up on Catboat Travels. We hope you've enjoyed your sunrise coffee as I've enjoyed mine. And now to check the audio and upload.